for assaults against Russia. The journal's conclusion is that NATO without the US could fend off a Russian attack well during the first few months, causing massive damage to Putin's forces. But what happens months down the line when Russia is still coming and NATO has depleted a large portion of its munitions? The February 2025 examination of the same topic by UK Defence Journal mentions the same issues. Again, the conclusion is that European NATO, and the continent as a whole, could mount a robust defence against Putin's forces. However, sustaining operations beyond the opening phases of such a war would see this America-less version of NATO struggle without the intelligence, logistical and technical support the US has long provided. NATO members that would be on the front lines in a war against Russia are even less confident. In December 2024, leaders from Latvia, Estonia and Finland all made the same claim that NATO is not ready to fight against Russia without US involvement. That's absolutely clear, said Latvian President Edgars Rinkēvičs. We can't keep simply hoping for a situation where the US remains much involved in Europe. Estonian Prime Minister Kristen Michal added, "We have to ramp up our defence capabilities because of Russia's threat and its inability to be a democracy and operate in a rule-based world." It's worth noting that Estonia and Latvia spent 3.4% and 3.15% of their GDP on defence as of 2024. Finland has also broken through NATO's 2% target, spending 2.4% of its GDP. Those European NATO nations are taking the Russian threat seriously. Perhaps the problem is that the rest of NATO isn't doing the same. And it's that discoordination between NATO's European members that could be the alliance's undoing if Trump withdraws the US from the coalition. European NATO has the numbers and equipment to match Russia. However, if it gets bogged down in bureaucracy and debates on how to react to a Russian victory against Ukraine, it could leave itself open to being caught out. That's why NATO might burn if Ukraine falls, as Zelensky claims. So what's the solution? Ukraine's president believes he has one: the formation of a new European army. I really believe that time has come. The armed forces of Europe must be created, Zelensky said to journalists outside the Munich Security Conference. Ukraine's president has pushed for this sort of unified European force for several years with little progress. He also isn't clear on what the force will look like, which only adds to the challenge NATO's European members face. Royal United Service Institute Director Matthew Saville suggests that establishing a land deterrence force of 100,000 to 150,000 soldiers could effectively respond to any renewed Russian aggression, particularly if a ceasefire in Ukraine is reached. However, without US involvement, Saville believes it would be challenging to persuade nations distant from Russia's borders to commit such significant troop numbers, potentially compromising their own defense.